And just to be sure. Okay, well, we've got a few minutes before we get started. If anybody would like to say where they're calling in from as we're growing, we'd love to hear. Where are you calling in from?
Hello from Scotland.
From Scotland. Love it.
Cologne, Germany.
In Germany. Welcome.
From Norway.
Norway. Welcome.
And the UK.
UK.
Hello
From
from
Montana.
Denmark.
I heard
Fort
it.
Lauderdale, Florida.
And there's
Washington
Florida.
State,
We've got some
USA.
Americans on here.
Daytona
from
Beach,
Italy.
Florida.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
North
McKinney,
Carolina.
Texas.
Woo.
Montana.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
I heard Salt Lake
Ontario, Canada.
Italy.
and Italy.
Papa, Michigan.
Michigan.
Leslie, Minnesota.
Hey, Leslie.
Nigeria.
Hey, Carla. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. We've got another 30 seconds here. Anybody want to say where they're calling in from? It's nice to hear it.
Birmingham, England.
Wonderful.
Amsterdam.
Also Salt Lake City, Utah.
Good morning,
Minnesota.
Southeast Texas.
Port St. Joe, Florida.
Toronto, Canada.
I'm from
Nigeria.
Kelowna, BC. Kelowna, British Columbia.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Eva from Texas.
Welcome, welcome.
Good.
Birmingham, UK.
Terry from
Chiapas,
Florida.
Mexico.
And Mexico there.
Hello, Carla. Art Napolitano here.
Hey, Art. Good to see you.
Gonna see you in Orlando, hopefully.
We sure, of course we will. Everybody
looking
who's going to
forward to
build
that.
this is going to be in Orlando.
It's sold out, man. Unbelievable.
Incredible.
Hello, Carla. It's Stuart. Good morning from California.
Hey, Stuart. Good to see you too.
Nice to see you.
Hi, Carla. Hi,
Hello.
Carla.
How party?
And Carla, thank you for hosting these. Everyone loves what you've been doing for so many years. You've been a champ. You've been really the foundation that you've built for all of us is making it so much easier for us today in Zinzino here in North America. You really are a true pioneer. So, we're so happy for your leadership and all your success. And thanks for opening this call to everyone. Our whole team knows about this call. So thank you.
Wonderful. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But I think everybody on here, if they were also in 15 years ago and saw the growth of where we're going, everybody would be just as excited as I am. And we can hear that through all the countries that are on here. Okay, well, I am going to mute everyone as it can get kind of noisy in the background when people come on. So we will mute everybody and get started. So happy Wednesday, everybody. It has been a fantastic week already this week. Last week at this time, we had our online kickoff, which was absolutely incredible. And we not only heard, I loved Hilda's video starting it, where she just kind of went through where we've been, where we're at, and where we're going, and the trend and what we know is true, and how many people we have been helping along the way, but how many people we will be helping along the way too. And then we hear from Dog and all of the people at the office. We have an incredible crew of people working to help us on this incredible mission. And there's one person who really, his heart, you can just feel the passion he has for this, how it's kind of his baby, and the vision he has. He's had this vision the entire time, but now I think his vision has even grown. When we hear what he has planned for 2026, it just gets you all fired up inside. So I'm excited and thrilled to have him on here to tell us more about what the plans are for us to be growing here in Zinzino for 2026. So welcome to the call, our co-founder and 7-star global president, Mr. Orjan Saele. Hey, Orjan.
Hey, Carla. Thank you for having me. Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Happy New Year. And since we were going to think about doing the call last week, but we had that incredible kickoff, Orjan, we had a growth in 2025 here that was just incredible. And yet you have set some goals for this year that are mind blowing. And then we can hear the confidence you have on this growth. I mean, it kind of sounds crazy of what you're saying, and yet it's really exciting to be a part of things on the journey where we're at right now.
Well, it's because we have you, Carla, and then we can grow like that. You're a big part of it, and there is other leaders here as well. And already took the word and recognized you is one of them. And then we've got many other leaders here as well that is a part of making these things happen. So I don't know how many different lines is here. I'm not going to count and I'm not going to go through every name. But the confidence is first and foremost in the people that we have. So to build something at a certain scale, you need certain things to be in place. And I point this out as 5 different things when I talk to top leaders, potential companies, and whenever I get a chance to introduce Cincino to a new person that has joined us. And that is that to evaluate a business, you got to look at these 5 things. Number 1 is vision, because a company very seldomly outgrows its own vision. Might there be stories where they upgraded the vision over time? Absolutely, yes. But if you look at the company's vision, you kind of see direction, because that is kind of leading and guiding our steps. How willing are you to invest if you have already reached your vision? How willing are you to innovate if you don't have a vision? Probably not very much. So the vision is critical. Number 2 is the product. Huge confidence in our product. If you heard Hilda's 7-8 minutes, 6 minutes global mega trend video, what she says in that video is very fundamental. And I'm glad now that she is doing the video. I used to do the videos. Now I can just promote her and saying she says it. It's not me. It's her now. I love that. But she gives some examples about a global megatrend, and she points to things that we've all lived through: the growth of the internet, the growth of smartphones, the growth of direct TV like Netflix, the growth of music in your phone, Spotify, the growth of electric cars. And not everyone lives in Norway. There was somebody from Norway here. But in Norway, even after the decline in sales of electric cars, we're still pushing 96% electric cars every month. So that's after it declined from 97. Became a little bit less popular last couple of months. But you get, so if you live in Norway, you know that the future is electric. If you live somewhere else, that's one of those trends that you still get to watch over the next few years. But there is no way that anybody is going to convince me that another type of engine between the ones that exist today is better than the electric one. Could there be innovation of new system? Absolutely. And then we move on to that. But or testing technology is a technology just like this, where we believe that in the near future, which is about 25 years, over 1 billion people, so meaning that a lot of people, meaning that in the US and in Canada and in Europe and in the part of the world that is leading the trend of nutrition, leading the trend of health, basically everyone will be tested. And then there will still be other parts of the world where it's still just a few percent that are still tested. Are you getting that? So in the Western hemisphere, we will then have most of those tests, meaning that half or more will have taken their balance test or similar to it 25 years from now. Every time they take that, until today. I've got a witness here, that's Stuart. He's coming from the omega-3 industry. I had somebody yesterday, brand new in the team, brilliant lady. She sent me a picture of a company's product, and the founder of that company said that their product was a lot better omega-3 than Cincino. And I think they had like 25 milligrams of krill in the product. And I was laughing out loud, and Stuart is laughing together with me because I said, you take that product for 1,000,000 year and test every week, the test won't move for that 1,000,000 year. It's like, you will not see a difference. Even if you take 10 packages a day, you will only move the test like 10, 15%. And the package is probably 50 or 80 bucks a month. So that's quite expensive. But on the product side, this gives results. This gives a proven, testable result, which means that when people across the omega-3 consumer group are taking the test, they see that what I used to use was somewhat ineffective. What I'm using now is highly effective. And that creates an enormous loyalty. Plus, across the consumer group of nutritionals, well, anybody taking a nutritional supplement would want to have an optimal cell membrane that lets nutrition in and lets the waste out, that easily lets the hormones in, lets the waste out, that easily lets things into the mitochondria so that you can produce energy. So anybody across the nutritional world that takes a test that sees my cell membrane isn't optimal would go, aha, so when I'm taking the Extend, or if I got another product and or products, I only have my products here. Well, actually, I do have Sanke's product here. We're onboarding them tomorrow. So that was what the Sanke founder saw, that when we take the Sanke product, if I don't have optimal cell membranes, even though this affects the mitochondria, it will affect it better when I have optimal cell membranes. So that means that they see across the nutritional world, when they fail the test, that by passing the test, Extend is going to give a better result than all other nutritionals in every company out there. If all they change is that they add balance oil, it will make a huge change. So product has to be a product that can go to 100 million plus people, and we have that. Number 3 is the people at the management. We've had some challenges in the US because we've been growing fast. We've onboarded people from different walks of life. We have acquired a couple of companies, and we've gotten a lot of new employees, and it takes time to structure that. Now, I have 100% confidence in our management team because they're constantly improving. So yes, we do mistakes. That's a natural. I'm not afraid of mistakes. Mistakes is just what we do when we try to grow as fast as we can. And then sometimes the mistakes limits us a little bit. Then we correct them. Then we don't have a limitation anymore, and we move on. And this is like the most classic story. It's back in 2016. Our company was back then doing about 30 million, 25 to 30 million. And one of our team members that was a director back then, he said, Orjan, there is something wrong with you. Because we have a problem with credit cards in Norway today, and you're still working on opening Germany. Forget about Germany, just build Norway. And I said, well, we're going to fix Norway. Relax, that will sort itself out. But we're also going to build Germany at the same time. We're not going to back down. And then he said, like, you're so wrong. You don't know how to run a business. And I said, well, give me 10 years and I'll either be a genius or I'll be the dumbest person, and you're right. Well, 10 years has passed since that conversation, since we're in 2026. And guess what happened? Germany became our #1 market, and we sell more in 1 month in Germany than we can do in 12 months in Norway. And still, Norway is at all-time high. Why will that happen? Well, Germany happened to have a few more people than Norway. There are 5 million population, size of Minnesota. So it's a little bit limited what we can sell in Minnesota, Carla. I'm glad you're getting out of the state. Not physically out of the state, but in the network out of the state. And then, of course, that's what makes the Zincino company grow, is that we are bold and daring to say, we'll fix the problems and expand at the same time. So if you're with us 6 months from now, things will be a lot better than it is today. If you're with us 12 months from now, it's going to be a lot better than 6 months from now. If you're with us 5 years from now, it's going to be a lot better than 4 years from now. Because when you keep on innovating and you keep on improving, it always becomes better. And in a 5-year period of time, you can hardly recognize the company because it will have improved so much. And then number 4 is the team culture, the leaders of the field. And we've got the greatest field leadership there is in any company on the planet Earth right now. We've got hungry ones, we've got experienced ones, we've got people in 50 different countries, and they're committed to the vision, they're committed to the product, and they believe in the management team. And then number 5 is to have a great compensation plan that rewards the middle the most, takes care of the beginners, and takes care of the top, and then you can build something that is sustainable. So because of this is why it's so easy to say, we're gonna hit $1 billion in the next 3 years. We're going to be the #1 company in the world by the grace of higher powers by 2035. It's a tough goal, but I think we're going to make it happen. We're going to fight for it. And if it doesn't happen in 2035, I'm not going to be sad. Then we're going to do it in 36 or 37. So if you have a 2-year delay on becoming #1, it's still okay. And then by 2050, we're going to be the #1 company in preventative health and have over 100 million customers. And that's only easy to say because we have those 5 points checked out and all 5 is working.
Powerful, Orjan. Just makes you even more excited to be a part of Zincino here. Now, in 2025, you set crazy goals. I remember the first time I heard you say we're going to have 50,000 new partners in Zincino in 2025, and it was like, what? That's like that was crazy. And to double a company in sales after it had been around for 20 years is unheard of. And yet we set even crazier goals this year. I've heard you say them. I don't know how many people have heard this, but you want to touch on some of that?
We do believe that we can double the recruiting and that we can grow more than 50%. And if everything falls in line, maybe we double the entire company. So the goal is to hit 100,000 new partners. That will bring in probably about 1 million customers, maybe a little bit more. And then we will, we will at least go to $548 million in sales. Hopefully, we will fly through that and do 600 to 700 million. A doubling would be to get to about 700 million in sales. So
I don't know how you can say that all so calmly. I'm like, you Scandinavian, you Orjan, because I'm over here going, what? 100,000 new partners. It sounds crazy, but you were crazy last year. It's crazy this year. And yet with the sales, that potential is absolutely incredible. I don't know if people really understand where Zincino is positioned right now for growth and the opportunity, how prime it is right now. Absolutely right now.
Well, I think the world is discovering it. A shout out to the US government. It's not very often we Europeans make a shout out and I don't know if it's all Europeans that are making a shout out to the American government, but that new food pyramid that looked a lot more like something you should eat than the old one. The old one, you kind of have to stay away if you want to survive. The new one looks really good. And I think that the messaging that has been very popular on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, and throughout a certain sphere of the MAHA movement in the United States, which is not only the United States, it's actually throughout the world that we want to make people healthy again, is that they've realized that seed oils are the problem and that we need to get more omega-3s into the diet. If we were gonna just put our focus on one single item, what would a single item be? Well, reduce the seed oils, increase omega-3 oils. That's the one single item that we would need to focus on, and it would change so dramatically. I had somebody ask me, so if you're on a GLP-1 type of drug to lose weight, which is very popular and hundreds of thousands, millions of people are on those today. What's if you can only pick one thing to combine with it? I only have one answer, and that's the balanced oil, because in that you've got so many factors that would bless that person in so many ways. So and I would actually say that it's kind of crazy to go on those kind of medications and not get on a product similar to the balanced oil or the balanced oil. I'm doing that for compliance purposes, the similar part. But of course, if you add omega-3 and olive oil and vitamin D to your diet and vitamin E to your diet, you're sort of protected. I don't think you will be as good protected as with this one, but then you get the same components, and that's the perfect counterpart when you do that. And then you can safely lose the weight, or saferly lose the weight is probably the proper way of saying it. Then the other part to it is that, I mean, if I was going to recommend one thing that would improve the children in the classroom or the children in the kindergarten, if they were going to have one food that we could only give them one more food, that's it. What is the food that you would give them into today's diet? So you got to look at what it is. So in the 1600s, 1700s, when they were sailing across the oceans and people died, the one food was vitamin C. So oranges was the one food, and that was right food. And this would be the wrong food in that case, because they ate plenty of fish. That wasn't a problem. They lacked vitamin C. And that was the one food. They got plenty of vitamin D3 from the sun. But if we were going to come to the kindergarten or to the classroom or to the sports arena or into any home across the world, and you could only recommend one thing, this would be the one. This would be the one that makes the most impact for the money spent. So obviously, if you could spend $500 a month, and then we could combine something more effective than just this one, but at less than $50 a month, this is the one thing that makes the biggest impact. And that's why everyone should be on it. And if you don't trust me, well, then take a test and look if you're in the 99% that fails it or in the 1% that pass it. And in the 1% of the cases where you pass it, I was wrong. Then I should have recommended you something else. But in 99 out of 100 times, the one food recommendation in this one is the right recommendation. That's the most impact that you can make. In the 1%, I don't know, then I would have to run more tests. Maybe something else that they're lacking. I don't know in that case, but in 99 of 100, and if that isn't good enough for you, I don't know. I mean, this is good enough to go all out and talk to everyone we know about just getting them on a customer plan. The one food, and the government talks about it. That's what I was saying. So the seed oils, and everyone gets everything a little bit wrong. I had a lady that was starting in her team, and she was starting to talk to me about seed oils, and if I could promise that we would never use any seed oils. So I said, no, this has been my favorite subject since 2012, and it's been other people's favorite subject for 2 years. I've read a lot about this. Not all seed oils are bad. Not all omega-6 are bad. In fact, omega-6 is very healthy. It's the overconsumption of pre-stored omega-6 in the form of AA, so arachidonic acid, that is the villain, and only if it's overconsumption. And that's what we have today. And that's why this is the one food that changes the game completely. And then it's the underconsumption of omega-3s, which this one has plenty of it in an excellent form, that out of the people that takes the second test, about everyone that takes the right dosage gets a great second test. Those that doesn't, we've got the solution for them with a little bit of coaching. We'll get them to digest it correctly, and then they are fine as well. So I'm just hugely into this, Carla, that this is the impact of the century, and that's why we can be so confident. And does government all around the world catch on to it? Maybe, maybe not, doesn't matter. But people all around the world is catching on to this. With now 8 countries, more than 1% tested, 2 countries, more than 2% tested. This year, we'll have 3 or 4 more countries that passes 1%, maybe 2 or 3 countries that passes 2%. So we're moving this into a trend. And in the US, you should test at least 1 million this year. It's ridiculous that I can say that we're going to do that, but it's like absolutely ridiculous that we aren't getting 30,000 new tests from the US every month. That should be like a minimum by the end of this year, that we do 30,000 tests a month in the US. Then it still takes you 4 years to catch up with Europe, or 3.5 years.
This potential, Orjan, is absolutely crazy. I mean, people want this. People, it's such an impact. So people who are looking at a way to make an impact, to have that purpose, or to be a part of something, this is it. Or to be a part of a community of people with goals and on a mission to do something. This is it. And when you hear those 1%, I mean, we haven't even got started really in any country yet. So we need to get out there, and we can create a business, sustainable business, and actually for everybody we know and everybody who wants to be a part of it. There's room for everybody here in Team Zinzino right now. It's crazy. Orjan, I went back on my YouTube channel and looked, and a funny thing, one of our first conversations, Orjan, was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was interviewing you just as I am today. That's you 10 years ago. We don't have the whole setup like we do now. And one of the things that we were talking about then, we also talked vision, and it was fun to hear what you were saying then, because it was spot on, and you were blowing me away 10 years ago also. But we were talking then about exact things to be doing. The partners that are watching, are going to watch the replay, or that are going to watch this year, are saying, okay, with this huge potential, with the vision of where this is going, we can have huge sustainable businesses in Zinzino. So what should we be doing? I think we called that call 10 years ago, we called it massive action. What steps would you be saying to people today, whether they're new, whether they've been in, whether they are ambassadors, or there's even presidents on this call? What should we be doing to be growing to get the best business we can here in 2026?
Well, if you noticed what I did for the first 25 minutes, and I'm not going to ask people, because we are not going to open it up to too much dialogue. I would have loved to, but that would eat up the time. I did something very important, and I used something called correcting the value proposition. See, when you came into the meeting, you had a value proposition with you, meaning that you looked at the business a certain way. But for the last 25 minutes, I've been changing the value proposition from where you were going, okay, maybe this is good for some people, to where you're going, okay, this might be good for a lot of people. And I made promoting the product to customers, promoting the product to partners, a lot more valuable in that process.
Mm.
And this is where everything starts. So if somebody is saying yes to you, it's usually based on what kind of value proposition do you give them. If somebody says no to you, it just means that they see more pain than value. So when there is more gain or more solution than what you have pain, then people will typically buy. So for instance, if I'm saying that we have a business and I think it would be possible to make our money back, and we have some good products and we have some tests, and you can take a test and you can get your result. That's one way to verbalize a value proposition, which you will have some people say yes and some people say no. But if that's the presentation, we will typically have more people saying no than saying yes. And even a bigger problem is that after they say yes, they typically don't do that much. So clarifying your message on how you make the value stand out from what we do in Cincino. So like I did, if I was to recommend one supplement, and then I explained why, and I used the government even, the food pyramid, and how the seed soil are bad. And then I came back to that 1600s, 1700s, which everyone know about. Then the right thing was the vitamin C, and that saved every sailor back then. Simple thing as oranges saved every sailor. Took away the problem completely with one thing. And now in today's society, this is that one thing, and it's less than $50 a month, and it changes your life completely. If I was going to add more to that value proposition, I would say, and every day you get the equivalent of the nutrients in form of polyphenols of 100 olives, and you get the equivalent of nutrients of omega-3 to like eating a steak of salmon. That meal, if you cook it at home, even at home, you cook it at home, it's like 5, 10, maybe even $15 per person in the family. While here, you could for 1 month. So 30 of these meals or 25 of these meals, depending on your weight and how much you need for dosage, you get inside of this bottle. So this is literally, how much does that come if it's $20 or $10? Let's say $10 times 30, that is 300. So this is at least replacing $300 worth of food in a nutritional value. Might even be replacing $500 worth of food in a nutritional value. And that's why I can go out to my friends and family and say, this is what you got to put into your food basket. So if you don't have it in your budget today, then look at all the foods you eat and take $50 worth of omega-6s, take them out of the food basket. The government recommends it. The health expert recommends it. Your favorite person on Instagram recommends it. Get those omega-6s out of the food basket and then put in this one, costs you zero money because you ate $50 left of something that was unhealthy and replace it with $50 of something that will change your life. And if you don't believe me, we even throw in a test. So you can find out if what I'm saying is personally true for you. And we even give you a free test after 5 months so that you can check if our product is better than the other products. And that value proposition, no, if you manage to present it like that, and I didn't do a full presentation, I did a presentation around the value proposition, getting the value up so that $50 seems like, oh, that's cheap. And then they see the contract and they see that it's not even 50, it's 45. So you lied to them in a good way. You exaggerated the price. You come back, oh, it's only 45. Oh, okay, that's even cheaper. Now, if you do that in this way, then all of a sudden people go, wow, this is something amazing. And it becomes easy to get customers, becomes easy to get partners. So like when you're joining the business, the value proposition of joining the business. Well, if you're saying, well, we have a kit, it's $1,200 or $1,150, and you know, when you get that, you get access to a fast start program, and you can get a refund, and so okay, there is some value in it. But again, if you change the value proposition and say, well, we put products of about $2,500 to $3,000 inside of the kit. Inside of that, you've got 10 test kits. So you can have 10 of your friends get their health back, get checked out, so they can either get on the product or they can get into the business. So that's inside of the kit. We've got samples either of every product or in the other kits. We've got oils also for them to either retail or to give away to get your first 10 customers. Plus, you enter into a fast start program. I'll help you. I'll promise you. I'll give you 2 promises. And I could give you more promises, but I'll give you 2. 2 that is on me, and then you would have to request the rest. And that is that as long as you book the meetings, I'm going to help you get 25 customers. Because then you get all your money that you bought the first products for back. And number 2, as long as you book the meetings, I'm going to do as many meetings as you need in the first 60 days to get your partner A and partner B. And between those 2, you've made some money, you're making a residual, and you got your money back. Now, I told you that kit was about $2,500 to $3,000. Sorry, I got a little bit of cough there. That's actually the retail price. So I'm going to give you that for $1,150 if you want to join into the business with me today. How does that sound? And now, you see, because of the value that I built into it, $1,150 now sounds cheap. If they say, well, I don't have that money, then say, well, we do have an $800 kit. I'll keep my 2 promises if you go with $800 kit as well. And if they don't have that money, I go down, well, we do have a $330 kit, and I'll still keep my 2 promises. This is not about me selling you a kit. This is about me helping you get 25 customers, 2 people into the business, get your health, or do the one thing that can get you healthy and help your friends get healthy, because I believe in this mission. And at the end of that, very few people are going to say, no, I don't believe in this at all. They're either going to be a customer or they're going to join you on the mission. Some people say, no, I don't have the time to build a business, but I'd love to sign me up. It's fantastic. Who else do you have in your family that you would like to get on the product? So immediately ask them for that, because if the value proposition is right, they're already thinking about the people they know that is in the kindergarten, which is either children, grandchildren, or the what do you call, nieces and nephews. So that's ones they're thinking about already. And they're thinking about ones in school, and they're thinking about their young adults, and they want to get it in the hands of them and say, I'll go and get that for you. Since you didn't join the business, you're not going to get refund because you didn't buy kit, but I'll get you 4 customers, and then you get your out order free every month. So then this is free every month. You only pay for the shipping, and for the shipping you get Zeno Cash, which you can go and shop more products for. So does that sound like something you would like to try out? And the answer is yes in that case. So if we're going to say what launches the business, well, it's when you launch yourself into where you have a well, how do I say that in the best possible, unshakable belief in the vision, in the product, in the management team, in a team of Cincino, and the way we get paid. When you have an unshakable belief in this, now you become a person that when they look you in the eyes, they go, okay, this person is serious. They believe in this. This is something. And then, like 10 years ago, Carla, if people went and Googled after this call, they wouldn't find a Maha movement. They wouldn't find the upside down food pyramid. They wouldn't find all of the people on Instagram that is talking about exactly about changing your life, getting rid of the seed oils, getting more omega-3s. They wouldn't find the TikTok influencers that is talking about cell membranes detoxification. When people talk about detoxification, it's an interesting thing. I think like I clicked on one video and after that I've been like a target of the meta universe of social media for anybody selling advertising for anything detox. So plastic detox, heavy metal detox, parasite detox, anything detox, like I've been a target. So I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed to hear all of their different opinions. But what do we actually do with a cell membrane when that's packed with fats that aren't supposed to be there at those amounts? And we know switch it back to normal? Well, what we do is that we detox the cell membrane. So this is one of the most powerful things you can do in the detox area as well. And that's just a different form of detox. Same with the membrane around the mitochondria. Opening up the cell to be flexible, letting nutrients in, letting the waste out, that's detox. And then if you go on more of the health protocol and you throw in the symbiotic, what this does from a detox standpoint is incredible in your intestinal system. And I could talk a long time about that. But then you have so many other benefits. So if you're, again, the GLP-1 drug was my favorite subject today, it seems like. Well, combine this, and then you really have something working. Because then you're doing the right things for yourself. I believe that any way you lose weight, we've got some weight loss products, get on them if you have excess weight, because I believe that reducing weight is very healthy. I don't think there is anybody out there saying that 50 to 60 kilos extra, that's the best way. There is none of those. There is people that say, don't worry so much about losing weight. Don't get stressed around it. I agree with that. But get on something that easily, without stressing you, could get you down to a slimmer body weight. That's always going to be healthy. And if you do that or don't do that, if you do it, this will support you. If you don't do it, this is even more important. So then this is even more critical to be able to stay in shape throughout life. And then we add in the extend for the health protocol, all the micronutrients. So when you don't get all of the micronutrients, then your body has to compensate. That causes stress. That causes more waste. When you do get all the nutrients, no, your body doesn't have to compensate. That is in itself a form of making you very, very much more healthy. So I love this protocol here. If you're into microbiome, we're getting Sankey products into the web shop tomorrow. Those are very interesting postbiotics. I take them myself. We do have my favorite exercise product, the phycocyanine. I also had another guy. He tried to say that they made a better phycocyanine than we did. And I was like, okay, show me the patents. And of course, they weren't even making it themselves and they didn't have any patents and didn't know anything about that. So it's a lot of opinions out there. And I think that this is the year where we as Encino say, okay, we've got whatever is needed to make people healthy. That means that from a nutritional from a dietary standpoint, we've got what you need to add to your diet so that your diet becomes more healthy, and that will affect your long-term outcome. We've got that. We've got the business plan in place. We've got so many proof of so many people making incredible headwinds in this compensation plan that we have. And it's time for America to go into a momentum. So, Carla, if I was really bold, I'd say that we were getting 100,000 partners in America alone this year, but I'm not really bold yet. Maybe next year.
But I wouldn't put that past anybody because there's so many incredible new leaders in the United States coming in from other companies, with all the things, the acquisitions going on. And they are, I mean, I'm in awe of all of them. I'm in awe of their abilities to build the business, their belief in Zinzino, and the action, the massive action that they are doing it's just respect. And we're going to build this. But again, we're Team Zinzino. We're working together to get this out, not just here in North America, and but around the world. I know Andy Dooley has been writing on here. We're going to get balance oil in every home. People are going to know about this, but it's not just here, it's globally. So we want everyone just to know the powerful effect and impact Zinzino is going to have on health and wellness. I want to put one more word in there, anti-aging, because I think that's a huge
No, like look at the picture 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Hopefully I haven't aged very much.
And actually, I look younger. Everybody's like, that's not even you, Carla.
Carla is younger. We took off years of her life. Or no, that was the wrong way to say it. Aged, forget about that. That came out wrong. Doesn't matter. Here is what I want to absolutely press upon you. Because sometimes when a lot of things are happening, we might get stressed. So people are coming in, they've experienced from before, we question ourselves if we've been with a company for a long time, or if you have experienced somebody else is moving faster, we question ourselves. It's a natural human thing. I like the AAA definition, acknowledge what you have. It's the most powerful thing you can do. Count what you have, acknowledge what you have. And then my rule of life is count what I have and then focus on growing what I counted. But here is the next step of the AAA is appreciate what you have. Why is that so important? Because people have a tendency to complain. I don't know if you know any of those people. I do. You complain to yourself, you complain to others. Why do we complain? Well, we complain when we don't appreciate what we have. So the power of appreciation makes complaint go out the door. What happens when complaint goes out the door is that we allow what needs to come next, which is the last day. We allow what needs to come next. So when we stop complaining and we appreciate what we have, we go into action mode. We're ready to do it. We're ready to go and build. So how do we build? You work on your list with different methods to contact people, but we have to be in touch with people. We have to talk to people. I like some people say, well, I'm going to make this perfect online system. And I say, great, make that. But remember, even at McDonald's, you get an in-person interview to get a job. So if you want to recruit somebody like me into this business and you don't even want to meet me, I mean, why should I join you? Quite frankly, like if you don't want to talk to me before I join, why should I join you? You see, on the opposite side, and most people that teach social media doesn't put it that way. They're not as blunt as me in that. They say, well, you know, it's easy, we can get people without talking to them and so on. No, you don't get the right people. You get other people that don't want to talk to people. We're in a talking to people business. So it's okay to say that we talk to people. We can draw people in, but as soon as you draw them in, make them your friend. So build your list, build your prospecting base, make them feel good about themselves, make them appreciate themselves, make them feel that you're giving them value. Then you book a meeting. In that meeting, you present, you give the right value proposition through the presentation. Then you move on to a follow-up meeting, which might be a group meeting, might be another in person, and then there is a decision meeting. If it's one meeting, two meetings, or three meetings, it takes me to get a new partner in. Doesn't matter. Even if I have to do 15 meetings to get one new partner, that's worth it because for every, this is my personal statistics, for every about 20 partner I've personally recruited through my lifetime career, I've been able to create a line that has gone to Black Crown or beyond. So that's quite valuable. So then you go into business with that person. What does it mean to go into business with a person? Well, deliver on the two promises, the 25 customers and recruit A and B. If everyone would get A and B in 60 days, we would have to limit how many people you're allowed to talk to about 4 years from now, because we would be running out of people. Okay, so if you keep your promise to that new person, and that person gives their promise to the new people, and they keep their promise, we've got a forever duplication machine. And if you help everyone get 25 customers, we are serving people something amazing. If somebody during that process says, this is not for me, you say, I love that. Just keep on taking the oil. This was no oil. Here is the oil. Keep on taking the oil. That's fine. Keep on taking the phycocide. That's fine. We don't need to be mad, frustrated, disappointed, sad, or anything like that. It's just a natural process. If you treat them nicely, they might come back. If you treat them poorly, they will talk negatively about you, and they'll complain about you, and more people will not want to join you. So it's just a process. It's not the business that is bad or that you did something wrong. No, you're on a path of learning. It doesn't matter if you do right or wrong, as long as you improve, because then you'll do more right the next time. So you keep on moving them along, and then you get people started, and then they go to the team meetings, and then we build the business planning sessions around the USA, online and offline, and people get educated. And then we have major blast events. We're having one in Florida upcoming couple of weekends. We have the national event in June, which will be packed. I think that will be 1,500, 2,000 people there. Just prognosis for me at this time, maybe 3,000. Let's see. It's going to be a lot of people there. We're moving into momentum in the US. So that's a big event, and then people then circle around and they learn to do the business more and more independently. When they do the business independently, you keep staying their mentor, keep staying their friend, and you keep doing it as a team. So that's how you launch your business. And if we all did that with 100% focus, get to with your new one, and then help them go 25, everyone. So 4, 10, 25. This business becomes easy. When do we run out of people to talk to? When 330 million oils go out every month in the US, then we still have Canada and Mexico left to build it, if we're looking at it that way. So that's the mission, and that's what I'm excited about, Carla, that it will move faster. I promised you this every year when I've come on this call. If you go back 10 years, you'll see every year I say, just wait. It is going to grow this year. It is going to become bigger. And one day we will pack out big arenas in the US with 20, 30,000 people. But more so than that, we'll become the #1 nutritional brand. And everyone knows that this solves more problems in one product than any other product on the planet today for less than $50. That's incredible.
Absolutely powerful. And if you can believe in that vision and this company and these products and our background personnel and the vision that we're doing, the last thing is to believe in yourself that you can do this. And I think absolutely everybody, when you have that drive and you develop, and if you are in doubt about it, just watch Orjan's speech from last Wednesday about just improving 1% at a time. Everybody can build this business. Everybody can. And to get those results, we just need to get into action. And if we're just out making those lists, talking to more people and giving them whichever value proposition is the best for them, the more people we help, the bigger business we get. Isn't that incredible to be a part of this mission? Orjan, I can't thank you enough. Do you have any last words for people that are planning on having 2026 be their best year ever?
There is a couple of quotes that I like that I picked out for this year for a little bit myself, a little bit to share with others. One of them is from my mentor, Bob Harris, and it says that what you give your attention to, you will create more of. So the question is, what do you want more of? Give your attention to that. And then another one, which is kind of like duplexity in this other one, but it is good. And it's probably right for a few of you, maybe all of you. And that is that believe in yourself to the point of delusion. So don't become delusional. I didn't say that. To the point of, just before. You stop just before you're delusional. So no, you can't fly. At least not physically, like you need a helicopter to fly, okay? You can't walk on water, at least not yet. So there might be material science develops, you can do that, but not right now, okay? So to the point of delusion, which means that you act with 100% confidence in that what you've got is good enough to make this business happen for you in a way that you achieve your dreams. And I absolutely 100% believe that.
There's so many people writing on here. I think people are excited for 2026. I know I'm excited for 2026. And Orjan, when we were doing these 10 years ago, I was excited then. And here I am 15 years into the business, and I'm excited more than ever. Zinzino is positioned better than they've ever been positioned. The value proposition has never been better than what it is right now. And we've got so many things happening now and in all of 2026 for everybody. I'm excited for all of us, for Team Zinzino, to go out and make 2026 our best year ever. Orjan, I can't thank you enough for always taking the time and always saying, yes, I'll be on, and to train us and to show us that incredible vision. You're always stretching it, always dreaming bigger. And I love sometimes, now that I know that companies don't grow bigger than the vision, it makes sense that you're always got these crazy visions. And the crazy thing is that you're actually always accomplishing the things that you set your mind to. So I love your visionary mind, Orjan, and I love the mission that we're on. I look forward to our future. I am so appreciative of you, Orjan and Hilda, and all the things that you do for Zinzino and are building at the same time. Unique founders you guys are. Thank you.
We love you, Carla. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Orjan. Thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Carla.
Throw the ball down the field.
Bye now. Thank you.
Thank you,
Let's
Orjan.
make 2026 powerful.
It's great.
ECBX month, let's go.
Let's
ECBX
go.
month,
Thank you.
Thanks from Florida.
rank up, baby.
All righty.
See you all later. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.